Okay, we are ready to go. Welcome, everyone, to this session on how to turn old stories into inner power. I really love this topic of how we can totally switch our self-narrative from old stories, limiting beliefs, negative thoughts, and how the experiences that made us develop those beliefs or those negative thoughts or that we didn't process properly, how they are the source of the most powerful wisdom that we can find, especially and sometimes the most traumatic or painful experiences, as hard as that might sound. When we heal those and when we release them and let go of the narrative, they really make us strong, and they give us a lot of unique talents. So this session is going to be all about healing, but with a lot of focus today on how to rewrite that negative self-narrative into power, into inner wisdom. So like I said at the beginning, it's going to be very experiential. So be open to some practical exercises, guided visualizations, and meditations, because we're going to really be accessing the subconscious mind. And I'm going to be talking a lot about a discipline called Matrix Reimprinting today. Some of you have been coming to my sessions, might be familiar with it. I'm going to explain again quickly how it works, but like I say, it's going to be a very practical session. So whether you're here for the first time or you've been following my work, you're definitely going to get something from today. Hi, Leida. I'm happy to be here live for the very first time. Oh, I've been watching your recordings on YouTube. I'm in Portugal. Oh, welcome to this live session. Yeah, amazing that you could be here with us tonight. Oh, Lorette, thank you. I absolutely love your wisdom. So happy you're here too. Didn't know about her recordings. Yeah, normally I record these sessions, and unless technology lets me down, which wouldn't be the first time if everything goes well, I normally upload them to my YouTube channel with the video. So yeah, they're always available. And sometimes if the audio doesn't need editing, or if it's a recorded meditation, I will upload it here on Insight Timer. I have lots of recorded meditations and other content here on Insight Timer. So yeah, feel free to check that out if you can't make the events live. But of course, I love you guys when you guys join live, because then we can catch up with each other and you get to share your wisdom, which you have a lot of. And I love hearing about your journeys and how you inspired other people in the community. So yeah, so thank you everyone who has joined here so far. Do we need to subscribe to get all the recordings? I mean, if you follow my profile, either here or on YouTube or any of my channels, I think every time I upload a piece of content, you get a notification. Or if you follow me here in Insight Timer, when I set up a new live event, you get a notification. And also you can check out my profile where I have my website, and you can join my mailing list, and then you will know everything about all my recordings, live events. So yeah, feel free to check that out. Okay, my loves. So how do we go from those old stories, from that negative self-narrative, from those negative thoughts that sometimes we repeat ourselves again and again and again, to that true inner wisdom that lives within us? How do we go from painful experiences, traumatic experiences, to power? How do we move from that being stuck in the past and being conditioned by that programming that we all have been exposed to in more or less degree? How do we go from that to develop a really empowering mindset, to an empowering set of beliefs, to an empowered state of being that will take us to the life we truly want to live? So the first thing I want to share here, and the first thing to understand, is that the events and the stories we tell ourselves are two very different things. So, for example, two people might have been exposed to similar levels of, I don't know, let me just share an example, bullying at school, or rejection, or criticism. And one might have developed the belief that the world is not safe, or it is not safe to be myself, or I'm not allowed to express my truth, or I have to please others to be safe in the world. And another one, having been exposed to the same set of events, could have developed the strength and the belief that I am different and I am very happy with it, or I am not like the rest of people, I am special, or any other positive beliefs that you can think of. I'm unique and I'm going to share my talents with the world, right? So being exposed to a certain event, one thing is what happened, and that we can't change. And I'm going to be talking more about matrix reimprinting and how we are going to rewrite the story. The event, we can't change, whatever, and especially the events, painful, traumatic challenges we went through, especially during childhood, especially during the first 6-7 years of our life, left a very big imprint. And if we didn't process it properly, because very likely, one, we didn't know how to, because we were kids, so how we were supposed to know how to process a traumatic event or a challenging situation or a painful situation. And two, probably our parents were doing their best, bless them, but maybe they didn't know how to help us process that in an empowering way, in a healing way. And maybe we repressed a lot of emotions, and that's how we develop a lot of beliefs, right? So the events, what happened, those experiences we can't change, and we don't want to change them because that made who we are today, right? But the story we live, that lives within us, the story that we keep telling ourselves, the narrative, the language we use to talk to ourselves, how we feel about ourselves, how we treat ourselves, our recurring thoughts, and how we engage with them, if we feed them or not, if we let them take over or not, that we can change, and we should change. And that's where healing happens, and that's where true transformation happens. So sometimes people say, yeah, but I've been exposed to a very traumatic childhood, so how I can't change, how am I ever going to change that? No, you can't change that. And you and there's no need to change that. The key is the story you're telling yourselves, the beliefs that live within, the roles that we attach to, the labels we attach to, right? That's what we can remove, we can clear, we can transmute, we can heal. And also, sometimes in the most painful situations, because we are taken to the limit, is where we can find our greatest wisdom. So for example, in shamanism, I'm also, one of the disciplines I'm training is shamanic energy medicine, and shamans always talk about stories, the stories we tell ourselves. And in the medicine wheel, in the tradition I studied, the Quero shamans from Peru, they have 4 directions in the medicine wheel, and one of them is represented by the jaguar. Each one has an archetype, and the West is represented by the jaguar, and it's all about transcending fear. And the idea is that if we go within and heal our deepest wounds, that's where our biggest treasures, our biggest inner treasures are. When we have the courage to go within, and we have the courage to to heal. I was going to say confront, but confront is not the word, but to become aware is like shadow work, right? You've probably heard about that concept as well. When we have the courage to go really deep within and and become aware and become vulnerable to our deepest wounds and experiences, that's where our biggest treasures and our biggest inner wisdom lies. That's where we can find it. And I really love that metaphor, and that's what we're going to be doing today. Because when we are experiencing a painful or traumatic situation, that can be, we are taken to the limit, and there are lots of lessons in there. And you've probably noticed that when your life has been easy or it has flowed, is great, very enjoyable, but it probably has been in the toughest periods of your life where you have learned the most, where you have really got to know yourself, who you truly are, where you have discovered there's nothing like facing a challenge or being subject to an extreme situation to realize how strong you are, how much power you have, how much you can take on, the resilience you have, right? So now I'm not saying that this is the healthy way to grow. I'm not saying that you should expose yourself, voluntarily or consciously to pain or to trauma or to dramatic relationships or anything like that to grow. No, that's not what I'm saying. But when the circumstances in life present as challenging or a tough period of time, is where sometimes growth happens. And because as human beings, we don't like change. It's not that we don't like it, but instinctively we resist it because it's dangerous, right? We prefer safety. Sometimes the only way to learn is when we have to face a real challenge. And maybe it's happened to you before that a pattern repeats in your life again and again, and you feel like you're making a mistake or you get caught in a toxic relationship, or you have a problem at work and it doesn't fully resolve, and maybe you leave your relationship or quit your job or do something different, but then the next one is the same one, only a bit worse. So until you heal or resolve what needs to be resolved, the same challenge will present to you again and again and again until you learn the lesson you need to learn. Life is a big school, right? With a lot of opportunities for learning and growth. And sometimes we learn the hard way. We don't have to, but as humans, very often we only learn when we are exposed to a certain level of challenge or difficulty. So going back to the idea that the events are something completely different to the stories we tell ourselves, the self-narrative, so the beliefs, the negative thoughts, the roles we attach to, that's what creates our reality. Not the event, not what happened to us, but the decisions we made from those events, and then the story we repeat ourselves. That's what creates our reality. We always look for confirmation. So if, because I was bullied at school, I developed the belief that I'm not good enough, that it is not safe to be myself, that I'm not allowed to speak my truth, my brain is always going to look for confirmation. My brain is going to find evidence to confirm that that belief is right. So I could be exposed to a lot of different stimuli throughout the day, but my brain is going to pay attention to the people, experiences, situations that confirm those beliefs. So I'm going to be more attracted to maybe jobs where I'm not valued and my work is not appreciated. Maybe I'm going to be attracted to relationships where I never feel like I'm good enough, where I always have to be pleasing others, where I feel like I can't be myself and I have to blend with the other person. It could be that I want to take on a big challenge in life, but I always find the evidence to see that it's not going to work for me because I'm not good enough, because I don't deserve it, etc., etc. Right? Funny how that works. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And the thing is that the more, so we believe, and especially the core beliefs that we hold, it's like a spiral. It's like a vicious cycle, really. Early back in the day, you made a decision. So that was kind of, so for example, the decision was, imagine, it's not safe to express myself. So that was a decision. And then because I made that decision to protect myself, I started acting according to that belief. And then I felt safer. So then it was like, right, okay, this is I'm right. This is the way to go. And then it goes deep into the subconscious mind. It's like a tattoo. At that point, is really, really deep, a deep program in a subconscious mind. And without even knowing it, without even becoming aware of it, we look for evidence. So maybe I'm giving an insight time in life, and someone writes a comment that I wasn't expecting, or I misunderstand it, and I think, see, I said something wrong. It is not safe for me to be here, so maybe better I'm not going to show up next time. And then because I'm not showing up, then my business is not working, or I can't share my wisdom. And it becomes stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger. It's like a snowball, right? It's like a snowball effect. If we don't clear those beliefs, if we don't remove those beliefs, the longer we live it, it's like a snowball effect. The bigger and the deeper they become, because we have been finding more and more evidence to confirm that they're true. And then we feel stuck in life, like we're not making progress, like the same things keep happening to us, like we're stuck in the same patterns or in the same behaviors or making the same mistakes, or always feeling like we're getting to a similar negative outcome until we break the pattern. And the way we break the pattern is by rewriting our story, the story we tell ourselves. It's not by setting a million different goals. It's not by trying to have a lot of willpower. It's not about learning the latest manifestation technique. There is power in all of that. There is a place, there are useful tools, but that's not how your life shifts permanently and deeply. Your life changes permanently and deeply when your state of being changes. And for your state of being to change, you need to reprogram yourself. Basically like a computer. If your laptop is full of old programs that are out of date and not compatible with the latest apps and all that, what happens to the laptop? It crashes. It doesn't work properly. You've probably experienced that. Laptop freezing, not working, letting you down, turning it off on itself. You reinstall the operative system and suddenly, oh, something's working. So it's a similar idea. It's about reprogramming ourselves and changing our state of being from the events, from the stories we decided we will tell ourselves from those events, to healing that. Think about pipes. There are different pieces of pipes that should go, one after the other, and be really, really clean for water to flow. Now think about different pieces of pipes that are not aligned and that are full of different blocks. Be in the blocks, unprocessed emotions, painful situations that we haven't resolved, the limiting beliefs that we were talking about, all those blocks getting in the way, and all that misalignment, again, beliefs or ideas that are not aligned, or that are not coherent with the outcome we want to achieve. So if I want to be a super successful business owner, but my mindset and my beliefs are that I'm not good enough, that I'm not an entrepreneur, that's never going to work for me, that I'm not a business person, the pipes are not aligned. Where we want to get and our state of being is not aligned. So water is never going to flow properly. It's always going to be blocked. But when we align all those different pieces and we remove the blocks and we clear that and we heal that, then we have a channel for the water to flow freely. And that's how life works. Here it is, the mystery of life solved with a pipe metaphor. There we go. I didn't think we were going to get this deep tonight, but that's how it goes. And it's a joke. It's not that difficult. It is truly that simple. It is truly that simple. If you are aligned, if your state of being, if your programs, if your subconscious mind, if your beliefs, if your emotions match what you want to achieve in life, you just become a magnet. It's an absolute match. It's like a mirror. It's an absolute perfect match. So it's going to be like opposite sides of the magnet that attract each other, right? When what you want to achieve in life, the life you truly want to live, the life you truly desire, is about success and love, abundance, you name it. But your state of being or your programming, whatever you want to call it, is of scarcity and fear and pain and resentment. This vibration, this energy doesn't match this energy. So you're only going to become further and further and further away. And you're going to attract other scenarios that match this frequency and this vibration and this state of being. And that's why manifestation techniques work wonders for some people. And they might be telling you, oh my God, I achieved these results and this is incredible. And if you use this technique, it's going to work wonders on you. And some people are like, tried 1,000,000 times, didn't make a difference. I only feel more frustrated than when I started. Doesn't mean that technique is wrong. No, not necessarily. It means that for the people whose programming or mindset or state of being or vibration or energy or frequency, whatever you want to call it, is aligned with the outcome, then yeah, if you do some manifestation techniques like visualization, when you do goal setting, it's really powerful because you set the intention and it happens. And I'm sure this has happened to you sometimes, that sometimes you set the intention, you want something, and suddenly the next day you have a clear sign or an opportunity or someone calling you out of the blue and you think, wow, that really worked. But then you might be trying the same thing in other areas and you're like, well, I've set the intention 1,000,000 times and I've sat in front of my vision board 1,000,000 times and things are quite not working here, because maybe there are some beliefs that don't match the outcome, and then it's blocking it. It's not about the tool. It's all about our inner state, our state of being, our vibration, our frequency. And we do that, the way we shift that is by healing and by doing the inner work, by releasing all those unprocessed emotions, the fear, the guilt, the anger, the sadness, the resentment. When we finally take off that baggage, you know, that rucksack that feels heavy in the shoulders, and you go, now I can go on a proper hike because now I'm not carrying kilograms and kilograms and kilograms of old stuff, you know, on my shoulders. Now this feels much lighter. And I'm sure every one of you here is in a beautiful healing and personal growth journey. I'm sure when you've hit one of those wonderful breakthroughs, you feel lighter. That's literally the word, right? You feel lighter physically, emotionally, energetically. You feel lighter. And then when we step into our power and we transform all those emotions, the old limiting beliefs, the stories, when we not only heal that and let go of that, but not only you're letting go, not only you're taking off the rucksack that was ridiculously heavy on you, but you're looking back and you're thinking, oh, actually in this rucksack, there was a beautiful feather. There was a beautiful piece of crystal. There was a flower. There was something that is teaching me something. There is a lesson. There is a piece of wisdom here. Not only you have removed what was heavy, what was holding you back, but now you have something extra. You are connecting with your true talents, with your true self, with your true skills, with your knowledge, and you can use that to move along, to inspire others for whatever you want to do, really. So we're gonna go to the practical side in a minute. Already saying, or meet the same type of person. Yeah. This is something very common. And this is a personal example. That was me many years ago, before I married my husband, and and before I healed all the relationship issues that I had, which were quite a few, after a very traumatic divorce from my parents. So yeah, quite a bunch of really limiting beliefs, a lot of pain that I had to release, a lot of kind of like dramatic view of love and relationships and everything. And what will happen? I would meet someone, all is going well, a bit of a challenge at the beginning, like a lot of passion, all is going well. And then suddenly things will go bad, and arguments and all this. Yeah, enough is enough. And the relationship will end after a good amount of drama, a good deal of arguments to confirm my beliefs that love is hard, that men are not trustworthy, that I wasn't confident enough, or that I wasn't deserving of love. Okay, so one relationship down. Okay, next boyfriend. Different color hair. Similar thing. The story will start in a very similar way. The relationship will develop in a very similar way. The outcome and how I felt at the end, very, very similar, if not the same. Next one, same thing. Different hair color, different height, different profession, but the same pattern, the same pain, the same thing again and again and again. So yeah, so you keep meeting the same type of person until you realize that, right, okay, so if it didn't work with this guy and this other guy and this other guy and this other guy, and actually felt like pretty much the same, also they were different, and I ended up feeling the same way, maybe the problem is me. Maybe there's something I need to do. Maybe there's something I need to change. So yeah, absolutely. We keep repeating the same pattern, or keep meeting the same type of person, being attracted. And of course, I was attracted to them. I wasn't attracted to the good guys, because that would have been very easy. And that would have not confirmed my beliefs about myself, about relationships, about love. So those ones, I'm sure I had a lot of lovely guys around me, the good ones, and I never paid attention to them because my energy wasn't there, because that wouldn't have confirmed my beliefs. So yeah, so that's how it works. And when I finally understood what I was doing and I rewrote all those beliefs, that's when magic happened. And I was like, oh, this is different. This is completely different. Now I can be in a true, honest, conscious relationship. This is another world, But it was not about finding another partner. It was about changing myself. It wasn't about manifesting, my soulmate or anything like that. It was like, when I changed myself, then the people I felt attracted to, the people that felt attracted to me, and the reality I was creating, that's when that shifted. When I changed internally, when I went through that healing and an inner shift. So I want to tell you briefly, hi Eleni, thank you for being here, my love, and thank you for everyone who have been joining halfway through. So one of the healing disciplines that I really love, it's called Matrix Reimprinting. And the reason why it's called that, is because of the idea that all our old stories, or parts of ourselves that carry those stories and those beliefs and the trauma and the negative experiences, live in the field, in the matrix, right? So actually, they don't talk about parts of ourselves or inner child, although it's kind of a similar concept. They talk about echoes. Echoes, as in ECHO, standing for energetic conscious holograms. So it's like an energetic part of ourselves that is not It's not in our brain, it's not in our cells, it's an energetic part of ourselves that lives in the field, in the matrix, and we can interact with them, and we can step into those memories and heal them and resource them and give those echoes or those parts of ourselves what we need. And it's really powerful because it doesn't stay. Actually, it's a development from emotional freedom technique or tapping. If you have been coming to my sessions, you know, we do a lot of tapping. You've probably heard me talking about theta healing and all about going deep into the subconscious mind and reprogramming our beliefs. And this is a discipline that I'm really, really, really a fan of. And it doesn't stick to just releasing the emotions or processing the experience or just healing. If you think about yourself as a garden, I'm very metaphoric today. I think it's because there was I'm gonna make a break here. There was a nice event in the small town where I live, and there is a fair that is a very old tradition every year, and there was some food stalls, a food market, and that I absolutely love, street food. So we went there for lunch, and I had a brownie, which I normally don't have because I tried to not eat sugar and eat healthy and all this blah, blah, blah. But there was a Nutella brownie looking absolutely delicious, and I think it's giving me a rush of I don't know if it's energy or inspiration or what it is, but I feel very metaphoric today. So another metaphor: if you think of yourself as a garden, if you want to create a beautiful garden, the garden of your dreams, you need to have a clear idea of what you want to do with it, and very likely you're going to have to do some weeding, right, and remove any, I don't know, all leaves, twigs, weeds, dirt, you know, that is stopping whatever flowers you want to plant or trees or whatever. So you're going to have to do a lot of weeding. That's the healing, right? Unblocking the pipes in the other metaphor, letting go of all that. Now, if you just do the weeding, you're gonna have a very clean and clear patch of grass, but you're not gonna have any fruits, you're not gonna have any flowers, you're not gonna have any trees, any plants, right? So to really create that, you also need to plant the seeds, and you need to create what you want. So some of the healing techniques focus a lot on removing the blocks and energy healing or letting go of that, but they don't work that much on planting the seeds, and which would be connecting with our inner wisdom, with our talents, so we can nurture and grow that and water that, like we would take care of a plant, right? So I really love this technique because it does the healing and the empowering and the unleashing, like the really beautiful, talented, unique parts of ourselves. So we're just going to do it in a practical way so you experience it, but that's the idea. So I'm going to be sharing some prompts for questions, for self-reflection. I'm going to be sharing I'm going to be leading some short visualizations, some meditations, guiding you to interact with different parts of yourselves. So obviously in a one-on-one session, I would be with one person in a one-on-one setting. I will be guiding the whole process, identifying the belief, identifying the decision, going back to that memory, talking to that part of yourself, releasing anything that needs to be processed. And it will be kind of like more directed in a way. In a group setting, it's going to be a bit more open. So a disclaimer, please, if you decide to go to any past memories or interact with different parts of yourselves, I'm not there with you to help you process anything that might come up. And this technique is really, really powerful because we can go really deep and access really deep parts of ourselves, and even sometimes we can recall memories that we weren't aware of or that we had forgotten. So please be aware, if you choose, you know, to go to a certain memory or to work on a certain topic, maybe don't choose, if you know that there was something that was very traumatic, maybe don't choose that one for today, for this session, if you're not with someone that can hold you and contain you and be there for you. Having said that, you know yourself. So yeah, so we're gonna get started. I'm gonna catch up with the comments. How do you go to another video? Yeah, if you mean if I'm recording this session, I am recording this session, but it will be uploaded later. Loretta is saying, so you mentioned before that the unconscious doesn't know the difference between reality and imagination. Absolutely. And that's why it's so powerful. And when we work with visualization, so in one of my sessions, what I would use and what I've been sharing with you in different live sessions here, I would first of all take the person or lead a meditation, for example, with theta healing. So we can go to that theta brain wave, so we can access more the subconscious mind rather than the logical mind, which sometimes can block ourselves and be very protective and have all the resistance to change. And then the work I do, tapping, is a very powerful way to release energetic blocks. And then the visualization part, so the interacting with different parts of yourselves, or with the echo, as they call it in Matrix Reimprinting, the inner child, shadow work, internal family systems, you know, soul retrieval, like from different disciplines. They're kind of like a similar concept. It's about integrating that. But the reason why in my work I use a lot of visualization and that inner dialogue through visualization is because imagery is the language of the subconscious mind. And yeah, like you said, the subconscious mind doesn't know the difference between something that happened back then and something that is happening now. So when you go to that younger part of you and you provide her with the resources she needs, and you help her cry where she needed to cry, when you help her go and talk to her parents or to the bullies at school and say whatever she couldn't say back then, when you give her the opportunity to feel empowered to give a speech in front of people and that goes well, the subconscious mind is reprogramming itself. It's understanding that that is happening, and that's how it kind of reprograms itself with different beliefs. It's like giving it a different experience. So we are not changing what happened. You might notice that when I share the instructions with you, it's not about rewriting the event or clearing it. We always go, for example, if the traumatic event was being in a play at school and kids laughing at you, and that being like really paralyzing and traumatizing, we wouldn't go to the beginning and say, right, let's do something, let's pretend that didn't happen. We would go after that has happened and talk to your younger self and say, right, okay, what decisions did you make? Oh, I made the decision that I wasn't good enough, that I'm a laughing stock, that I need to stay quiet to be safe. Right, okay. Do you understand that those kids laughed, but it had nothing to do with you? They had their own issues. It doesn't mean that you are not right, that there is something wrong with you, that you are perfect the way you are. Am I? And when you start interacting with your echo or with your younger self in that way, it's like seeing the event with different perspectives. It's like reframing it. You're not changing it, but you're teaching her or him how to see it from a different perspective, from a different way. You're helping her release the pain. Maybe she just needs to cry because she was very embarrassed. Maybe she just needs a hug. Very, very, very often when I do this work, the first thing the echo says, or the younger self says, oh my God, someone who's listening to me. Oh my God, I'm so glad you're here. Oh my God, now someone is listening to me and someone understands what I'm going through. And that on its own sometimes can be so powerful. And that's what it's all about. Very good question. Leda, what if you don't know what it was or can't recall a specific event that may be causing a block in belief? That's one of the first things we're going to do, because sometimes you know the event and it's very, easy, not easy, but simple in the way that you know the event or the period of time that you have to work on. But we're going to start by identifying where that takes you. So we're going to start doing that, and you're going to see, what I mean. Let me drink a bit of water. Oh, sorry, this is not working. How many characters does meditation have? I don't understand your question, Eleni. It's not about a number of characters. Normally, in this case, it will be a younger version of yourself. So it will be you today going back and kind of stepping back, like you were stepping into a movie or a theater play. And that's really key of this technique as well, because it's not, you're not identifying, you're not reliving the trauma. You're not identifying with your younger self. You are like an observer. You're stepping into the memory and you're interacting with the characters, with your younger self and anyone else who might be involved in the scene or in the event. So you will be interacting with your younger self, but not becoming her, because also many healing techniques, for example, talking therapy, if you think about that, many people have told me, I just can't deal with it. I just go and see and talk about my problems for hours, and I just feel worse because I just keep talking about it and I'm reliving it. And yeah, I totally share the pain. So this is slightly different. So you're going to see with the example, you're going to understand, because there are different ways to do it. I'm going to be guiding an example. Jay saying, yes, but not for this. So I don't know what that was in regards to. We're going to start with the examples, and if you have any questions, let me know. So first of all, think about a negative belief, a story that you keep repeating yourself, a negative thought that keeps coming back again and again, a pattern that keeps repeating in your life, an area of your life where you feel stuck. It could be any of those. Choose one. I'm going to invite you to close your eyes. And let's take a few deep breaths together, first of all. Inhaling through the nose and exhaling through the mouth. Just a few times to bring the awareness within, to bring the awareness and the focus to the present moment. Letting go of any irrelevant thoughts to this session. And just breathing deeply into the belly. Making each breath a bit deeper and a bit longer. Allowing the body to relax, the muscles around the abdominal areas, the chest expanding, moving freely with each breath. And now bring your awareness to that story, that negative thought or belief that you are aware of, or that area of your life where you feel like you're stuck and you can't seem to make any progress. Not associating with it, but just letting it come to your awareness. And pay attention to where that is in the body, how the body reacts to that. Are there any parts of the body that maybe feel tense or cold suddenly? Is there a particular type of energy? Any colors? any emotions associated with it. Not judging, just becoming aware of it, just observing, like you're an external observer. And that could look like a red ball of anger in the stomach, a cold black lump in the throat, a paralyzing sensation all over the body. No expectations. Just see what comes up for you. Whatever comes up for you is right. Is whatever you need to direct your awareness to, or your intentions to. So no expectations and no judgment. And now when you have a few words to describe the energy in the body associated to being stuck in that area of your life, or that belief, or that negative self-narrative or thoughts, think about another time of your life where you have experienced the red ball of anger, the paralyzing sensation in the body, the fog in the brain, the cold heart, whatever that was. And again, not traveling there, not associating with any memories that might come up, just becoming aware of it. Another moment of time where you experience that energy in the body. Beautiful. Now shake it off and bring the awareness back to the energy, to the sensation in the body. And think of another example of another time of your life where you experience the same sensation. Beautiful. Again, not engaging with it, not reacting, not becoming that young self. Shake it off. And think of another time, one more, earlier if possible. If the previous memories were when you were an adult, try to go a bit earlier if possible, as early as you can. Another moment of time where you experience this sensation in the body. Beautiful. Shake it off. At this point, if you have a pen and paper handy, you might want to take some notes, because this is going to give you a lot of information, and you might start seeing that they have something in common. They might not, and it would need a bit more they always have something in common, though. If the same energy in the body, it's bringing a set of different memories, there will be something in common, whether that's the belief, the decision that was made. There will always be something that connects them. So write them down so you can do some thinking, maybe later when you have more time and you're in a space where you can just sit and meditate on it. But see if, at a first glance, they have something in common, or the belief, the core belief, or the underlying belief that connects those memories. See if you can find that. Loretta saying, for me, it's always a feeling that comes up. Yeah, so that's exactly the key. So if there is a thought, there is a pattern. I'm not going to ask your conscious mind, so why do you do that, Veronica? Why do you mess up every relationship you have? Because I would have said, I have no idea. I wish I knew. I really don't know. I'm not doing it on purpose, obviously. I don't want to make my life miserable. I don't want to be caught in the drama. I don't want all these arguments. I'm not doing it on purpose to ruin my life consciously. I have no idea what I'm doing it. And that's why we associate it with the sensation in the body, and then we track it. In Matrix Reimprinting, that's called follow the energy. So we see how that feels in the body, where that lives in the body, and then we track it to different memories, to different points of time. And Jay saying, wow, nearly every job I've had, feeling like a failure. So that's already, you're already connecting the dots, and something like a common pattern or a common belief, connecting different experiences. So now the next step will be to choose one of those memories. And if nothing came up for you, it could be, another memory that you have in mind that you could do with a bit of healing, or that that was painful and that you would like to do a bit of work on it. Like I said before, please don't choose a very traumatic experience, because if for whatever reason you associate with it, I don't want you to have a bad experience. I don't want you to relive it. I want you to be safe. So maybe choose something simpler or smaller or less traumatic to start with, because I'm not with you individually, and I can't be there to hold the space or to hold or to help you release the intensity. But I trust that you know what you're doing here, guys. We're all adults. So yes, so choose one. If you had, so for example, if you recall 3 memories, ideally, to make it more effective, I will always say, let's go to the earlier one, because sometimes what happens is that the later ones are just like bricks that you put one on top of each other, and the one at the base is like the core, is where the core belief was developed, and then all the other ones, so for example, in my case, maybe would have taken me to all the relationships, maybe to the breakups, but eventually that feeling of not feeling loved, not believing in love, came from much earlier. Came from, when my parents were getting divorced, and that's the memory I had to work on. All the other ones, all the other experiences that were painful and and challenging and a bit traumatic, were just the bricks at the top. But when we remove this one, everything falls apart. Sometimes, if all of them have been very traumatic and have had a really strong emotional charge, sometimes you have to go one by one, right? Layer by layer. So again, this is very personal, but for the sake of this exercise, and so you can experience a bit of it, a bit of this, choose one memory you go to. And the idea is that you're gonna travel to that point of time, and you're gonna get there like you're stepping into a movie or a play. So you're not gonna become your younger self. You're gonna still your adult you, and you're just gonna be there and see your younger self. And the first step, you can close your eyes for this. It will probably help with the visualization. And once you're there, let your younger self that you're here. Introduce yourself, tell her or him that you come from the future, that you hear that she might need some help, and that you just wanted to check in with her, and that you just wanted to know how she's doing, and that you just here to help, and see how they react. And some of your younger yous might be reacting very surprised. Some of them may be skeptical. What are you doing here? Some of them might be very happy to see you and feel very relieved to see you. There's no right or wrong, by the way. You're just witnessing, and you're just having that conversation. And now the idea, and I'm going to give you some time here and some questions, so you can have a deeper dialogue with that part of yourself, is you can ask them things like, what is going on for you? Is there anything you want to share with me? Is there anything you need to tell me? what decisions did you make because of this experience? What did you decide back in the day? And here we're trying to get to the core belief. What do you need from me? And here, because we are in the matrix, and because we are in the field, you can do with your echo or with your younger self whatever you want to do. You can give them the magic wand. You can bring in some angels to do healing for them. You can just hug them and be there for them and listen to them. You can take them and they might feel like talking to someone or saying what they couldn't say back then, but they really felt like saying. So give them a bit of time and space so they can experience this. If they don't feel safe, if they want to say something to someone but they don't feel safe, you can put a bubble of protection around them. Be creative and let your echo or your younger self guide you. Don't think what you think that might be good for them. Ask them, talk to them, have that inner dialogue. And normally you would stay here for as long as needed until this feels complete for your echo, because we have limited time here and because everyone will be moving at a different pace. Just let your echo or your part of yourself know that you will come here again to help her or to help him for as long as they need. But you recognize what they're going through, you understand them, you acknowledge them, and you will be back to work with them and to help them for as long as they need. And now see if you can help them rephrase that narrative. So whatever decisions they told you they made because of these experiences, see if you can help them rephrase that or see that from a different perspective, or let that go. Maybe that's something that they were carrying, like I said, in a rucksack, and you just want to take it off, or a stone that feels heavy on them, and let them release it. Let them let it go. And again, you might need more time to go deeper into this. Maybe make some notes of what you've got so far, and know that you can come back here anytime you need to continue the work. And the last thing we're going to do is I'm going to invite you to ask your echo or your younger self what lessons she or he has learned. What's the inner wisdom? What's the knowledge, the lessons, the wisdom from this experience? Beautiful. So what I'm going to invite you to do now is just to take a few more moments with your echo, with your younger self. And if nothing came up, by the way, or if you're struggling to have that inner conversation with them, it's perfectly normal. This is not the best setting, obviously, in terms of having that one-on-one space or doing it on your own when you're sitting on meditation and can really relax and play some music in the background and go deep into it. So this was kind of a step-by-step process so you could get a taste of it and to see how it's done. And then of course you can take it and do some deeper work on it. But sometimes just with a quick interaction, you can get lots of insights, you can get lots of ideas and transformation already. So yeah, so I'm going to invite you to have those few final moments with your echo. Let them know that you're going to be back soon for anything they need. If they feel like there's still a lot to heal, maybe you can place them in a bubble of healing energy in a safe space where they will feel comfy and cozy and protected to wait for you in the meantime. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes and meet me back in the screen and the other lovely people in here. And I would love to hear from you, as always, how that experience went, any insights, any questions that you might have. But this is the idea, and this is something that you can do. Obviously, you can do it with a therapist to guide you in the process. When I've had to do some proper deep healing, I always work with someone because I know that I'm going to get much better results. But sometimes I've done it on my own, and it has been really powerful to just go through that inner dialogue and that reflection. So that's the idea to about rewriting the story, to go to a certain memory after a painful or traumatic event has happened. Don't become your younger self. You're stepping into the memory like you were stepping into a movie and interacting with the characters. It's all about listening to them and resourcing them and help them do whatever they need to do to either heal, process it, and reframe it and see it from a different perspective, from a different point of view, from a more empowering point of view. And then we can work on understanding what the wisdom and what the lessons were. So not only we have rewritten the limiting beliefs or the disempowering decisions, but now we're accessing the wisdom, the knowledge that we're carrying. It's like if there was a block there or something unprocessed and we get rid of that, there's space for something new, right? And that something new is, again, going back to the metaphor of the garden, when you clear the weeds, you make space for something new. The something new is the flowers, the trees, the fruits, the crops you want to grow. And here is about our inner treasures. So how has this experience helped you become the wise, powerful person you are today? Because you are, even if sometimes we don't feel like that, but we are. We all have that inner wisdom. We all have that power, that knowledge, those treasures inside. It's just that sometimes, obviously, when the wounded parts are too strong, they take over. And then the treasures are difficult to spot. There's no space for them, for those parts of ourselves that carry the talents, the uniqueness, our wildness, our true self, right? Our magic. So it's about giving them space too. Jason, there was wee me and teenage me, weird. Might need a bit more time to explore the connection because I'm sure there is a connection. Nothing's random when you're doing this work. And of course, before you do this work, like for example, in a one-on-one setting, I would do some relaxation at the beginning to get the person into meditative state, kind of like theta brainwave state of being. So you might want to do some breathing at the beginning, play some relaxing music in the background, maybe lighting up some candles, you know, whatever works for you to take you into the more relaxed you are, the more you're going to be able to really access the subconscious mind and work with the subconscious mind. Leda saying that was very profound and beautiful. I did not expect my echo to tell me I have been waiting for you. So much tears and chills. Oh, I'm so happy. I'm so happy to hear that. And thank you for sharing that. Thank you for sharing that, because that's really inspiring. It is very common actually when, and I have experienced that myself, you know, as in going to that younger me, like, finally, you're here, someone to help. Finally. So yeah. And then yeah, this work can be very emotional. Obviously, when we have that that emotional release, and you know, especially if our echo is a really young version of ourselves, it can be heart melting, you know, to work with them and to see their innocence and to give them that love, that nurturing energy is really, really, really beautiful work. Really, really beautiful work. As much as, you know, I think that talking therapy has its place, and I am trained as a counselor as part of the work I do, and it taught me many wonderful skills and many wonderful tools. But I think this is much more empowering and much more beautiful to really experience that, and the release that happens, the healing that happens when you're talking to your echo with your younger self, as opposed to just talking from the conscious mind and talking about what happened again and again and describing the painful events and how you felt. And it's like you moving it, you're talking about it, but you're not resolving. And sometimes in just a few moments of inner conversation, so much healing can happen, such a profound release can take place. So I'm glad that that was the case for you, and thank you for sharing. Again, very inspiring. And yeah, this is something that you can do anytime you need. There are some books on Matrix Reimprinting, of course, that you can check out to have more details and more tools. And yeah, feel free to use it whenever you want. Jason, yes, I've repeated the same stories so often I don't even connect to the words. I don't know exactly what you mean, Jay. Repeated the same stories so often I don't even connect to the words. I don't know if that's linked to it's more the sensations and the experience more than just the words that talking therapy, of course. Yeah. That's the thing, that sometimes you just repeating the same story and talking about the same thing. Automatic pilot. Yeah. And then it's like, right, so now I'm an expert on my problems. I can tell you everything about it. I can tell you every traumatic event. I can tell you why, because my parents did this, or because I was an only child, or because of this, or because of that. Then I'm not confident enough, and then I mess up in my relationships, and I don't have the courage to start my own business and all that. And yet you become a master of it, and you can rationalize it, and it's like, great. And don't get me wrong, there is a lot of power on getting awareness on where you're stuck and the patterns we repeat. There is power in that. But I feel like it gets to a point where, yeah, okay, you're aware, but you're not resolving it. Yeah, I know the symptoms and causes, but not the cure. Exactly. So it's like, yeah, the symptom is there. I know the cause, but the symptom's still there. So how do we resolve? How do we go to the root of it and resolve it? And that's why I find this way of working really, really, really powerful and transformation. Tapping has been helpful. Yeah, tapping is really great, especially within Matrix Reimprinting. I normally use a lot of tapping in my sessions, and especially when there is a very strong emotional intensity attached to the event or the story, where there is a lot of stress, anxiety, you know, when someone is unsettled. We use tapping to clear that, to clear the pipes, to remove a bit of that, so we can come to a place where we can actually go to the places, do the subconscious mind work, and work with the echo. Because if you are really stressed, if you're in fight or flight, if there are very strong emotions going on that haven't been processed, it's very difficult to do the deep inner work. So sometimes we have to bring that intensity down before we can do and go back to, you know, to identifying the root of the problem, the core belief, the original memory we have to go through. Do you have a suggestion or a good book to learn more about matrix reimprinting? Well, the thing is that matrix reimprinting, so Carl Dawson, let me see if I can type it here. Sorry, I'm in a funny position because of the microphone and all. Oh. So Carl Dawson is the founder of Matrix Reimprinting. So he was a EFT, an emotional freedom technique master. He learned from Gary Craig, who was the original founder of tapping or emotional freedom technique. And he learned from him for years and years and years and years. And then on addition to that, he developed the extension or the additional development, which was Matrix Reimprinting. What the books called? So I have two books, and I don't think there are many other books on the topic. So one is Transform Your Beliefs, Transform Your Life, EFT tapping using matrix reimprinting. It's, I don't know if you're saying it the other way around because of the mirror effect of the camera. And the other one is annoying because it has a very similar title. Is Matrix Reimprinting using EFT, Rewrite Your Past, Transform Your Future. So they are both similar and have lots of practical exercises, kind of like step-by-step exercises that you can use on yourself. But if you search Carl Dawson and his books, you will find a lot more information on his website and the books. And I think he even has some videos online on YouTube. So yeah, great resource. I learned from him, and he's a really cool guy. Really cool guy. Really aware of everything that's going on in the world. Really connected spiritually, but very grounded at the same time. So yeah, really great person to really great person to learn from. Thank you for sharing that. I love EFT. It's being extremely helpful. Yeah, so for me, they say the how is it what they say? They say EFT is like, it's like removing a tape. So for example, if you were like a videotape, like with a story, with EFT, you're kind of not deleting it, but reducing the intensity. With matrix reimprinting, you're rewriting a new movie, right? You're creating, again, it's about connecting with the or creating those empowering new decisions, the positive emotions, positive new beliefs, and yeah, and I do see it that way, that it goes like a step further in terms of really helping you feel empowered and helping you actively take responsibility of your life and really create the life you truly want to live. So yeah, so thank you guys. We're gonna wrap up. Oh my god, almost 1 hour and 20 minutes here. If anyone has been with me from the beginning till now, thank you from the bottom of my heart. And I don't know how you've done it. Thank you so much, guys. Yeah, I guess because there was the thing is, I'm so passionate about this discipline that I could be talking about it for hours and hours and hours, because I wanted to give you both the theory and the proper explanation so you understand how it works, but I also wanted to give you the practical side of things so you could experience it firsthand. So yeah, so we went on for a long time today, which I'm more than happy to do because I love spending time with you guys and I love sharing these tools. The impact that this type of healing has had in my life has been so powerful, so transformational, and I feel that my life has changed so much from feeling stuck in pain, drama, to things just flowing and finding so much joy. And of course, I'm not saying by any means that I'm completely healed and that, you know, that anything I want, I manifest it in seconds. No, definitely no. Still work in progress. But oh my God, the transformation that I have experienced and that I have seen, you know, people I've worked with experience is really incredible. So I'm like, I want everyone to know about this. Everyone needs to know about this. So thank you guys for being here. In terms of what's coming next, I think I haven't scheduled any other live events next, but I'm normally here once a week. So please follow me here on Inside Timer so you can be notified of live events when I upload new content. I also have some courses with some really specific actions and exercises, especially the main one that I have, Stepping to Your Power with Confidence and Joy. It's a similar process as what I've shared, but in different lessons, and it has a really deep guided visualization and exercises that you can do. So if this is something you enjoyed and you want to take it deeper, I would definitely recommend that course. And of course, if you want to find out more about my work, you can go to my profile, check my website, subscribe to my list. And if anyone is interested in doing one-on-one work, I would recommend that you let me know as soon as possible, because some of you know that I am pregnant and will be going on maternity leave at the end of February next year. And because the main offering I have is a 3-month program. That's the most powerful type offering that I have, of the most powerful type of support that I offer at the moment. I don't have much time left to offer that, so I'm going to be enrolling people. I have some spaces left, and but latest to start around early November, mid-November, so we can do that long program. So if you are interested in that, let me know as soon as possible, because next year I'm going to be busy with other affairs, and I'll be taking a lot of time off. All the information is in my website, Jay, because there are different options with different number of sessions. So check that out, or drop me a message if you want to know more information. I always offer a free discovery session for anyone that wants to have a chat with me, to see if that's the right fit and what you need. So feel free to check that out. And if you have any questions, let me know. And like I always say, if you have if you're facing any particular challenges, let me know, because I have so much recorded content here on Inside Timer, on my channel, and I'm always happy to point you to specific resources. So I'm always happy to hear from you. Drop me a message or an email, and I will be more than happy to help. Okay, my loves, so we are wrapping up. Eleni, thanks for coming back. If you want to catch the recording, I will upload it tomorrow. I have a kind of like fully booked back-to-back day, so might be Friday, but I will be uploading it soon. And like I said, feel free to follow me so you're notified of my next live events. And by the way, since you're here, some of you are here still, I'm planning to do a longer week of content, like a 5-day healing immersion or something like that at the end of October, before I really focus on delivering the one-on-one sessions that I have left. But I want to offer that experience. So let me know, guys, whether that's here, or drop me a message if you would prefer that to be like a 5-day thing with shorter sessions but in different days, or a long one where we go for like 2 hours or 2 hours and a half, and we really go through all these steps in detail. And let me know your thoughts, because I'm planning something big that's coming up. So watch out and keep an eye on this space, because I will be letting you know more. Eleni, thank you for your kind words. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for being here, and everyone who joined here live, and everyone who will be watching the recording. Thank you so much for your positive feedback, your reviews in the platform, your donations, all much appreciated. and very welcome. And yeah, please be in touch and I'll see you around. We're going to wrap up now. So I'm sending much love and light to all of you and wishing you a lovely rest of your day. And I'll see you very, very soon. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.